Super Mario Bros. Wonder is looking absolutely amazing. However, there's one big part of the game that has definitely left a lot of people confused. Oh, so there's online play.
If you connect online, you might see other players on the world map and in courses, appearing as live player shadows.
Wait, what? Okay, so you're not actually playing with them. Oh, but you can play with friends? But there's still these ghosts? What is going on? Today I'm here to break down Super Mario Bros. Wonder's weird online play. I'm not going to be necessarily breaking down what it is. You can watch the direct for that. Instead, I'm going to be going through and putting a method to the madness. Why is Nintendo doing this? Why give us this weird kind of faux online mode? What is the point of any of this? There's so many questions and I'm gonna try and answer them all in this video because, like it or not, Nintendo has set up Super Mario Bros. Wonders online in a pretty weird way. Timestamps will be in the description if you want to skip around, but first, a word from our sponsor. You guys will never be able to guess the sponsor of this video. It's a relatively unknown mobile game called Raid Shadow Legends. That's right, we're gonna be talking about the hit mobile RPG with hundreds of champions to collect, intense PvE boss fights, and amazing graphics. So strap in because this is why you should download Raid today. My personal favorite aspect of Raid is the campaign. Not only is it the fastest way to level up your champions and unlock new ones like I did right here, but there's 4 difficulty modes here, meaning players of all skill levels will be able to test their might. Speaking of unlocking champions, there are over 700 of them in this game, meaning it's impossible to ever get bored. For brand new players, you can get your hands on Stag Knight, one of the best epic champions around. You can also get a skin for Stag Knight designed by JonTron. If you just use the promo code JTSKIN before October 7th, you'll get the skin. And if you're not a new player, don't worry. Raid's got you covered. You can still get the Stag Knight and the skin through an in-game event. If that's not good enough for you, you can get a free legendary champion. Sun Wukong, Raid's take on the Monkey King from Chinese mythology, has made his grand appearance in the game, and it couldn't be easier to get him. If you just log in on 7 different days between now and October 23rd, this legendary champion is yours. There are so many reasons to play Raid and even more stuff coming soon. So if you use the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen, you'll get all of these insane bonuses, including an epic champion Drake from the Lizardmen faction. You can find me under the name SwitchStop in-game, so hop on and I'll see you on the battlefield. Thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Okay, so why is Nintendo letting us play as live player shadows instead of just, well, normal multiplayer? There are 3 main reasons that I've come up with, and once you hear them, this whole live player shadow thing starts to make a lot more sense. After that, I'm going to talk about why this is actually a good thing. Yes, let me get to it. I honestly think this could be better than just giving us normal online. Alright, so the first reason is the big one, the elephant Mario in the room, lag. Nintendo's online has never been the best. In fact, it's been notoriously bad at points. One time in which it's been notoriously bad was with Super Mario Maker 2, which actually did have online. It's the only 2D Mario experience ever to let you play online multiplayer. You could play levels normally, you could race levels, seemingly all the stuff you could do in Wonder. But unfortunately, in Mario Maker 2, it's awful. I'll just let this gameplay speak for itself. It doesn't work. When you're queued up against random people, it's just awful. And there's a good chance that Nintendo saw the performance of Mario Maker 2 and realized that for their mainline Mario game, when people are going to be playing on the levels that they created, they don't want players to have a subpar laggy frame droppy experience. So live player shadows alleviate that, as it seems like in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, if someone's lagging, they're going to be lagging, and then their live player shadow will be lagging on your screen, but your entire game won't drop frames. That is definitely not the case in Mario Maker 2. So yeah, it's just easier for their servers to handle, full stop. That's the first reason, and honestly, it'll end up giving us a lot better of an experience. The second reason, though, is where it gets more interesting. Mario Bros. Wonder seems to be the most interactive Mario Bros. Game ever. What I mean by that is you can interact with these levels in ways you never could have even dreamed of in any past 2D Mario game. Grabbing a Wonder Seed can completely change a level. It can tilt the whole level, cause a stampede of bulls, or even tilt the entire perspective and have you playing like a top-down version of the game. This sort of thing is absolutely unheard of for 2D Mario until now. And the only possible way they could have made this work online is by forcing everyone to stay on the same screen. If you've ever played any of the new Super Mario Bros. Games or 3D World, you know that this is kind of a struggle. Sometimes you're trying to run one way, your friend's trying to run the other, and then one of you gets pulled off into a pit because because the camera is panning following one player and then the other player is just screwed. They're out of luck. By creating live player shadows and making it so when I hit a Wonder Flower, it doesn't impact your game, or when you kill an enemy, it doesn't kill the enemy in my game, of course you lose the interactability between multiple players, but because these levels are so interactable anyway, the only feasible way that this could have been circumvented is by having all the players on the same screen. This quite frankly just wouldn't work. A big feature they showed off for multiplayer is races. You can't really have a race if all players have to be on the same screen. Then how are you supposed to build up a big lead in the race? Live player shadows completely eliminate that element of the game, and in my opinion, that's a good thing. Dying to the screen in a 2D or 3D Mario game is probably one of the worst ways you can go out. Last but not least, in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, you can no longer pick up and throw your friends. In fact, you can't even bounce on their heads, they just kind of phase through each other. Now, this is probably a good change. I can't lie, I loved this feature in the new Super Mario Bros. Games, just because it would get so hectic so fast, and that's why I enjoy playing multiplayer, the complete and unbridled total chaos. But I can understand why they removed it, and the fact that it's removed in normal multiplayer, when you're playing locally without live player shadows, means that there's really no reason for the other players you're playing with online to not be a little bit opaque and kind of be like a ghost-like character. You're never going to be able to bounce off their head or pick them up. What they do will not interact with what you're doing at all. So live player shadows not only help decrease lag and allow the game to still be incredibly interactive with all these wonder effects, but also they just make sense because you can't even pick up your friends anymore, so why even bother seeing them as fully rendered characters when they could just be, opaque, and you can focus on your character and not get caught up in the shuffle anymore. Because that would happen so much in 2D Mario. If everyone's bouncing around together, you kind of lose track of your character for 1 second, and then boom, where am I? Oh, I'm dead. I'm now in a bubble floating back. Now, I said at the beginning that I was actually looking forward to this new version of online. I guess it's not even really new. The new Super Mario Bros. Games never had online multiplayer. But regardless, the more I think about it, the more I'm looking forward to this. And I can confidently say now that I'm glad Nintendo went with this live player shadow kind of fake online multiplayer approach. Fake is in big quotes there. Rather than the more traditional, Super Mario 3D World or Super Mario Maker 2 online. The reason for this is just the full potential of what we can get now. I touched on it before, but races. This is something that's online exclusive, and at first I was like, why can't you race your friends? But then I remembered, oh yeah, you all have to be on the same screen, and that alone completely ruins a race. Because if you fall too far behind the person in first, you'll just die and not be able to respawn, or you'll get pushed along by the barrier of the screen, neither of which makes sense at all for a race. Another thing I'm looking forward to with the new online is standees. These are something that you can place down to help out other people that you're playing with. Now, are these going to be a big feature of the game? No, probably not. In fact, you could probably play the entire game without really caring about this at all if you don't play online. And that's fine, but even if you don't use a standee, you can at least buy them. You collect these from the Poplink shops as shown in the Direct. And again, even if you do not use these standees, they are a great addition because they encourage going back and getting more purple coins. Imagine this basically as like a trophy collection in Smash Bros. Or a sticker book, where there are 144 different stickers or stamps that you can now buy from the shops, giving you a whole nother collectible for those of you who want to 100% the game. Once you beat the main story, this game will not even be close to over. Even if there is somehow no more bonus worlds, you can still replay levels over and over again to get all the standees. No matter what you think about the online, that's a great addition. All it does is increase replayability. You don't have to get them if you don't want to. You don't even have to use them if you don't want to just play not online. But for those of us who want to do everything there is to do in this game, now there's just that much more. One other thing I'm excited about are these heart points. You get heart points by playing online and being a good team player, placing down a standee to revive other people, waiting and finishing the level with your friends. All of these actions can give you heart points, which are displayed on your profile and seem to go up to 9,999, but we're not entirely sure. They could have like a lower cap for some reason, or you could get another digit and go up to 99,000 or something. I don't know. There doesn't seem to be a way to lose heart points, and they do seem to be a bit of a vanity number, meaning that from what we know, this is a number that displays on your profile and nothing else. Sure, you could maybe unlock a standee or a postcard after the credits once you max out your heart points. It's not out of the question, and that's what gets me excited. I feel like there's got to be some sort of reward for maxing out your heart points, but even if there's not, this is just a whole nother feature added because of this online mode. They straight up could not have done this if online was normal. If you couldn't place down standees to revive your friends, heart points would be pretty much non-existent. They just wouldn't have even added them in. The last and most exciting reason why I think this online mode is actually a great idea and could potentially lead to the most fun we've ever had in a 2D Mario game, live player shadows are just that, live player shadows. They're live versions of other players playing right now because, well, they're live. But the existence of live player shadows does kind of mean that they at least have the framework in place for just normal player shadows or ghosts. Imagine if they add in something where you can time trial levels and race other ghosts on the leaderboard. Hey, I mean, they already added in a race feature. What's to say once you beat the game, you don't unlock a time trial mode? Or what if they add weekly little levels that are short and bite-sized and you race other people around your skill level or around your heart points? Maybe it places you in a group of like 20 or so other players, and whoever has the best player shadow or ghost on the level at the end of the week gets some extra heart points. While not confirmed or even really teased, so I don't want to get your guys' hopes up or anything, I hope you can understand where I'm coming from when I say that live player shadows and the idea of adding in like this time trial ghost mechanic, which they already have pretty much everything set up for because of live player shadows, could take Super Mario Bros. Wonder from what already could be very well the best 2D Mario game of all time to something on another level entirely, with replayability borderlining Super Mario Maker. The possibilities are truly endless, and that is why I think Nintendo didn't make the wrong decision here. Trust me, I'm more than happy to call out when I think Nintendo does something dumb, and especially with online. Like when I first saw this, I was like, are we serious? What are we doing here? Why live player shadows? Can I just play with my friends? But the more and more I think about it, live player shadows fits this game better. It fits Super Mario Bros. Wonder better. So hopefully throughout this video, I've explained to you why Nintendo's doing this, kind of demystified all of this Super Mario Bros. Wonder chaos, and now I need you guys to let me know in the comments what you think about live player shadows. I'll be reading all the comments because I'm really curious on your guys' thoughts. Are you okay with this system? Would you rather it just be normal? Let me know. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed. We're so close to 200,000 subscribers. Help us hit it before Wonder comes out. And thank you again, Raid Shadow Legends, for sponsoring the video. Feel free to click the link in the description or pinned comment to download that app. I'm Thomas from the Switched Up, signing off. Peace, guys.